Hi friends, welcome back to the Christmas series of Merry Bakes. Season's greetings from Merry Bakes. Today's episode is a special cake. It's called the Bûche de Noël or the Yule log cake. This is a traditional dessert, a Christmas cake served near Christmas season, especially in the French colonies. This cake is traditionally baked and rolled with any kind of cream filling inside. Yule logs are often served with one end cut off and set on top of the cake to resemble a chopped off branch. A very simple cake with very simple decoration. Do watch the video and check out how I have given the bark-like texture on this cake. Following these simple steps, let's surprise our dear ones this Christmas season. So let's get started and check it out. During the video, I'll also explain the history of the Yule cake. The first step is to make the chocolate ganache. Here I've taken 150 grams of dark compound chocolate that is finely chopped. This is 50 ml of fresh cream. This is a 1:2 ratio, that's 2 parts of chocolate and 1 part of fresh cream. To make the chocolate ganache, I have used the dark compound here. And the brand I have used here is Amul Dark Compound. Well, you can use any brand of your choice. Okay, let's prepare the ganache now. Here I have kept a pan on medium heat. I'll be pouring in the cream into it. We just want the cream to be hot. We do not want to overboil the cream. Okay, it's fine here. It's become hot. I'm switching off the flame. Let's add in the chocolate that's finely chopped and leave it for a minute. Now with the heat from the cream, the chocolate will start melting. Just mix it till it's well incorporated. You can even prepare the ganache using a double boiling method. You can also heat the cream in the microwave for 10 seconds and add in the chocolate into it. By any chance, if you feel the chocolate is not melted, you can heat it in the microwave in intervals of 10 seconds till the chocolate is melted. It would take a maximum of 20 seconds to melt. Okay, let's mix this well till the cream and the chocolate is melted and well incorporated. At this time, the ganache will have a running consistency. As you can see, it's got a flowing consistency. Now let's transfer this into a bowl and let it cool at room temperature for 4 to 5 hours. So there it is, our first step, our chocolate ganache is ready. Next we shall prepare our cake tin. This is a 12 into 9 inch cake tin which is perfect for the measurement I'll be making the cake for today. If you have a smaller tin, you can bake the cake in 2 batches. I have oiled this cake tin and I've placed the buttered paper on top of it. Okay, that is also ready. The third step is to mix the dry ingredients of the cake. The measurement for this Swiss roll cake has to be really accurate. For this, I have taken 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. Then here I have taken 1/2 cup of powdered sugar and also 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Now into a bowl, I'll be taking in the dry ingredients and mixing them well. In goes the flour. Then I'm adding into this the cocoa powder. The cocoa powder and the flour mixture will be sieved later, and into this I'll be adding the baking powder as well. And finally a pinch of salt into this mixture. Let's mix this well till all is well incorporated. So our dry mixture is ready. Let's set this aside. The fourth step is the wet ingredients. Here I have taken a total of 4 eggs. I have separated 3 egg yolks and their white, and into this I'll be adding a whole egg as well. So let's start to whisk the white. The white have to be whisked till soft peaks are formed. Remember that the eggs used have to be at room temperature. And at the same time, we will always have to whisk the white first and then the yolks. Let's whisk this for a minute, and into this I'll be adding in half of our powdered sugar in batches. So I've added in a little here, and let's whisk this now. You'll also have to be careful while separating the egg whites from the yolk, as if the egg yolk falls into the egg white, there might be chances that it would not whip. The utensils used to make the Swiss roll has to be completely free from moisture content in it. Now let's add the second batch of sugar and whip it again. We have already made a Swiss roll on a stout top. You can also follow that method as well for a smaller measure. Here we'll be making a chocolate cake. You can also make a vanilla cake if you wish. Now let's add little more sugar. You can see half of it is left. This will go along with the yolks. Continue whipping till the soft peaks are formed. Now why do we separate the egg yolks from the egg white is just to introduce more air into the cake batter so that it will help the cake to rise up while baking. There it is, our egg whites are whipped and we have stiff peaks here. You can see it's not moving around, so it's done there. Now let's start with the egg yolks. We can use the same hand blender to whip the egg yolks as well. The egg yolks also have to be whipped well till we get a light creamy texture. So here we have used a total of 4 eggs in which 3 eggs are separated and a whole egg is added to the egg yolks. Okay, that is done there. Now into this I'll be adding in the rest of the powdered sugar that we have kept. We had powdered half cup of sugar here, in which 1/4 was used in the egg white and now 1/4 is being used in the yolks as well. Here as well in the egg yolks we'll be adding the sugar in batches. So now let's add the rest of the sugar into this and whip it again. Now into this mixture I'll be adding in the whole egg as well. And along with this 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. Let's continue whisking for another minute or so till it's nice and creamy. There you can see that the egg yolks are nice and creamy now. The 5th step is the preparation of the cake batter. Into this we shall swift in our dry mixture in batches. Okay, I've just transferred it to a smaller bowl because it's easier for me to put it in through. Okay, that's fine now. Let's mix all this till it's well incorporated. Remember that we have added the dry mixture in the egg yolk batter. Our egg whites are still there waiting for us. I'm just mixing this because if we use the hand blender now, the powder might tend to rise up. So it's just mixing it roughly into it. Now I'll be adding the sieving in the second batch of the dry mixture as well. As you have noticed, the wet ingredients we have used here is only egg, nothing else. So it's only the egg that's helping us to combine the mixture into it well. Okay, so the dry mixture is completely sieved in. Now let's mix this till it's well incorporated. After it's mixed in well, you can just use a hand blender to mix it in well. Since it's most of the egg yolks and the dry mixture in, the batter is little bit thick, so we'll just mix it till it's incorporated well. There it is, it's ready. Now henceforth we'll be using only a spatula to mix in our egg whites. Now let's spoon in a bit of the egg white into the chocolate mixture just to make the chocolate mixture a little loose. Use the cut and fold method and incorporate the egg whites into the chocolate batter slowly. Do not use the hand blender to mix in the egg whites because we'll be destroying the air that is created in it. There it is, our batter is almost ready. Now we shall mix the chocolate mixture into the egg white that is whipped well. Now here you can do it either way, either put the chocolate mixture into the egg white or you can fold the egg white into the chocolate mixture. Okay, I have transferred the chocolate mixture completely into the egg white. Now slowly and patiently mix in the egg white into the chocolate mixture using the cut and fold method. What is the Yule log? It's a log of wood that families from the 19th century that used to live in the French colonies, they used to burn this log of wood during the eve of Christmas, which symbolizes a new year to come and would bring them good luck to the family as well. Smaller hearths became normal, so huge logs were impractical to be burnt now. Just like the plum cake, the Yule log cake also has a rich tradition. It's the Parisian bakers that popularized this cake in the 19th century. Okay, our cake batter is ready. I'll be pouring the cake batter into my prepared cake tin. I'm just pouring it across the tin so that it will be easy for me to spread it. There it is. As you can see, the consistency is perfect. There it is. It falls like a ribbon, so it means that the consistency is right. It's a very easy cake, right? Very few steps, and I've explained it in detail. You can surely follow them and a perfect Swiss roll cake would be there for you. I'm just spreading the cake batter evenly across. In the medieval era, long back, people would feast to celebrate the days finally becoming longer, signaling the end of the winter season, to cleanse the air of the previous year's events and welcome a new year with blessing and prosperity. Another fact of this cake is the base of this cake is sponge cake, which is one of the oldest cake and is still made today. In fact, it's a base of every cake. Okay, my sponge cake is ready. It's ready to be baked. This will go into a preheated oven at 180 degrees and be baked for 12 minutes. While that's getting ready, let's set up the table to roll the cake. Here I have spread a kitchen towel on top of which I have put a butter paper and I'm dusting some powdered sugar on the butter paper. Adding in powdered sugar plays a very important role so that the cake does not stick onto the butter paper while rolling it. So do please add the powdered sugar generously on the butter paper. Now henceforth the cake has to be handled a little bit quicker when it's still warm. It's 12 minutes now and the cake is done. I'm just running the knife along the sides. Now let the cake cool completely for around 10 minutes. After around 10 minutes we shall invert the tin. Remember that the cake is still warm. Now we shall slowly remove the butter paper. There you can see the butter paper is coming out easily. Our cake is perfectly done. Now on top of this cake as well we shall dust some powdered sugar. You can also use icing sugar as well. You can generously dust the powdered sugar on this. This is very important as it will help you prevent the cake from sticking onto the paper while rolling. Now I'm going to fill the Swiss roll. I'm using a normal whipped cream filling here. I have used whipping cream powder, 100 grams of whipping cream powder, which is whipped along with 100 ml of very chilled cold milk, and on whipping this I get this whipped cream. It is already sweetened, so I'm not adding any extra sugar. After it is whipped, we'll just spread it across on our cake like this. The filling of the cake can be your choice. You can also replace this with Nutella as well. Now on top of this I'll be adding some crushed nuts. I've got some crushed almonds that I've used here. You can use fruits instead, or if you do not wish to use anything, that's also fine. So these crushed nuts, or you can also add some chocolate chips. All this would give a crunchy feeling when you have a bite of the Yule log cake. Okay, that's done there. Now let's gently and carefully roll our cake to form the Swiss roll. Do not add a lot of pressure, just gently along with the butter paper you can roll the cake. You have to remember that the cake has to be rolled in from the longer side. Gently and little tightly, slowly roll the cake till it comes out perfectly rolled. There it is. You can see that the powdered sugar has helped the cake not to stick onto the butter paper. There you can see a little of my cake is on the butter paper because of the lack of the powdered sugar. Our cake is really tender and soft, that's why it tends to stick. So the powdered sugar plays a very important role here. Now let's fold the ends and keep it intact. Now let's keep it on the tray and let it refrigerate for 3 to 4 hours till it's set. Our cake is out from the fridge after 4 hours. So let's take out the butter paper very carefully. Remember, our cake is very delicate, so you'll have to handle it very carefully. There it is. My Swiss roll is perfectly done. There the perfect log is there. Now I'll be setting my Yule log cake on this wooden board. So whichever board you want to set your cake, you can set that on now. Now I'm just trimming the edges from both the sides of the cake. Okay, that's done. Now I would be diagonally cutting this cake at an angle. Now I shall take this piece and place it on the other side of the cake, just to give the feel of a branched log. This is optional. If you wish, you can just keep it as a single log as well. So our Yule log cake is almost done. Now we shall decorate it. Here is our chocolate ganache that's been resting for 4 hours. You can see the consistency. Now I'll take a little of the ganache and apply it on our small branch just to make sure that it is intact onto the big branch. There you can see that the ganache has got the perfect consistency as it's rested over some time. It does not have a flowy consistency, in fact a spreadable consistency. So let's attach this onto the log, just keep it intact. Now generously, just using a knife, spread the ganache on top of the log. Just go on spreading the ganache on the Swiss roll till you are satisfied. Cover the entire log. If you wish, you can also cover the ends as well, but I have left it open. I like to see the rolls that is created in the cake. Just using this butter knife, I have completely covered my cake. There you can see it resembles a perfect log of wood. Now let it rest in the fridge for 10 minutes. Now using a fork or a toothpick, you can carve in the design of the wood. You can draw these lines across the wood till you are satisfied that it resembles the perfect log. As you have seen, just with a fork and knife, I have created this beautiful cake. I have not used any piping tools or piping bag to make this decoration on this cake. It's really simple and gives an amazing look. There goes my Yule log is ready, perfectly carved to the texture of a wood. Not only for Christmas, you can make this on any occasion. So here it is, the Merry Bakes version of Bûche de Noël or the Yule log cake is ready. A simple sponge cake crafted in a very unique way, just using a fork and a knife. So here it is, my Yule log cake is finally done, and I've just presented it along with some tiny mushrooms that I've made. I've kept it along the side. Just to give it a Christmas effect, I've dusted some powdered sugar on it just to have a snow effect, and I've dusted some cocoa powder on the mushrooms. I hope you enjoyed my video and the facts about the Yule log cake. Now I'm just cutting a piece of the Yule log cake. There it is, our cake is perfectly rolled, the cream is perfectly filled in. So enjoy your Bûche de Noël and think of 100 years of history behind it. If you enjoyed this unique recipe, do give it a thumbs up and share it with your family and friends. Do subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for notifications. So stay tuned with Merry Bakes for unique recipes. Thank you for watching Merry Bakes.